Hello, students. This is going to be our first lesson with marimbas. Marimbas are these instruments that have a keyboard, kind of like what I have here on paper. And they can also be known as xylophones or metallophones. And as you can see, we have a marimba here that's made of paper. Now, paper marimbas, they're not exactly the coolest things. They're not like the real things, but this is a good place for us to start because we get to see what the keys look like. Now, as you can see, we have letters on all of the keys, all right, on all of these bars. And what we're going to do is we are going to look at what letters of the alphabet we have. We have an A, and we have a B, and we do have a C, but we also have a C right here. And then we have a D and an E, an F and a G. So boys and girls, you can see that we actually have two sets of letters. We have C, D, E, F, G, and A, and then we have this B, and then our pattern starts over. C, D, E, F, G, and A. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this marimba in two parts. We're going to call them yards, like our neighbor's yard. Like this is my yard and this is my neighbor's yard. And we're going to use the B. We're going to use the B. That's going to be our fence. Okay? So we have my yard and then we have my neighbor's yard, which is here. I'm going to go ahead and use the big side as my yard, and then the small yard is going to be my neighbor's yard. All right? Now, when we get to marimbas, there may be times where you have the small yard and your neighbor has the big yard, but for right now, we're just going to use the big yard. Okay, now, when you actually start playing marimbas, you want to make sure and play it right in the middle. You don't want to play it right on the letter, because that's not how you play marimbas. You have to strike it right in the middle. That's where you're going to get the best sound. All right? Now, we're going to play a little song, and you'll notice I have one finger on C and one on F. That's because I'm going to need 3 C's, C, 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 and 3 F's, F, 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 to start off my song. All right, let's go ahead and get the song started. Here we go, C for the city, C, 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 Cincinnati City, C, C, C. If I were a frisbee, F, F, F. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. G, I'd get giddy, G, G, G. Flying around the city, F, F, F. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. Now, I hope you are following along. Now, there's some easy ways, because you may be wondering, well, how am I supposed to remember what letter I'm supposed to touch? Well, you kind of have to listen to the song. The first part is C for the city, and C happens to be the key that we're on, so we're going to tap that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we have Cincinnati City, which also has C's in it, so we're going to do it again 3 times. C, C, C. And then we sing, if I were a frisbee, and the word frisbee starts with an F, so that's how I know this is an F, 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 F. And then back to Cincinnati City, and what note is that? That is C, C, C. And then the next line actually tells you in the very beginning, G, I get giddy. That tells me it's G, 3 times, G, G, G. And then flying round the city, well, that starts with an F, so it's F, F, F. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. So I hope that helps you. Now, we do paper marimbas in Miss Silva's room to start us off to practice, so that way we can make sure where our fingers are supposed to go. But then we go to Miss Manto's room and voila! We actually play on the real marimbas. Now, this is one of our smaller ones, and as you can see, I have the letters still on my bar, and I'm here in the big yard. Now, sometimes you may go into the small yard, which is right here, all right? But for right now, we're going to stay on the big yard. Now, we always start with fingers first on the real marimba, so let's go ahead and try it. Here we go, C for the city, C, C, C. And you bounce it. Cincinnati City, bounce, bounce, bounce. If I were a frisbee, F, F, F. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. To the G, G, I'd get giddy, bounce, bounce, bounce. Flying round the city, bounce, bounce, bounce. In Cincinnati City, bounce, bounce, bounce. In Cincinnati City, C, C, C. And once we do that, once we see that everyone has done that, then we get to bring out the mallets. The mallets are really cool because this is when we actually get to play sound. Because playing with fingers is okay, but you notice I don't get much sound. Playing with mallets is good. Now, when you're playing with mallets, make sure that you strike with this part. You don't want to strike with this part because you might break the mallet or you might damage the instrument. You want to play it with this part, and you want to bounce it like a ball. All right, so I'm going to set it up just like I had my fingers, right in the middle of the ball. And we're going to go ahead and give this another try. Here we go, C for the city. Cincinnati City. If I were a frisbee in Cincinnati City, G, I get giddy, flying round the city in Cincinnati City, in Cincinnati City. So that's how our little song goes. Now, I know you couldn't see it in the video, but when you hold your mallet, you want to hold it like so. You don't want to have it too tight, but you don't want to have it too loose either. And you don't want to have pointers. This is a big no-no. You want to have those pointers pointed out. I want to see turtle shell hands like this, like little turtle shells. All right, boys and girls? Okay, well, I think we're ready for our marimbas. Have fun.